On this final day in August in Manhattan, Kansas, the 129th season of Kansas State football kicks off on a sunny late summer Saturday. And Wildcat fans are ready to welcome another season, and we welcome you. You are watching the Big 12 on ESPN+. Game one of the season, the University of Tennessee and Martin Skyhawks, FCS, out of the OVC, taking on the 18th ranked Kansas State Wildcats. Great to have you with us. College football is back, along with former Nebraska as well as NFL running back Ahman Green. I'm Mark Dealey. Chris Klieman, head coach at K-State, said earlier this week, this UT Martin team is the best FCS team that they have scheduled in his time here.
Yeah, well, they're coming off a three-time, conference champs in the Ohio Valley Conference. So right there does it all. You know, you have players returning in terms of seniors, but players that can make a difference, like O'Shea Baker on defense, who is pretty much like their Swiss Army knife defender that could get everybody in position on the defensive side of the ball.
K-State fans cautious but optimistic about this year.
Yeah, 100%. Well, very cautious because you know how the season can start off. You want to have a fantastic start to the season and somebody could get hurt or anything like that. But the way the season ended, getting a bowl victory against NC State, a top team there, you got all the pieces in place. You got a young quarterback that's looking really sharp. You got DJ Giddens, returning senior running back that will put down a lot of yardage and then help that offense go.
Well, speaking of Avery Johnson, the now sophomore quarterback, the first true freshman in school history to win a bowl game 8 months ago. Wildcat fans have been salivating for his sophomore year, and the wait is over.
Yeah, he's somebody that right there, you know, the team between making guys miss tackles, he knows how to get the ball upfield with his legs, but then here in the next clip, with his arm as well, he can throw the ball at a high point and then also back shorter, so he has the acumen to understand where that ball has to go to his receivers.
There is Avery Johnson. He's sophomore. Of course, Will Howard transferred to Ohio State, and the keys to the offense belong to Johnson. UT Martin won the toss. They will receive.
So we will.
Chris Tennant kicks into the end zone.
So we'll see the K-State defense come out here. That has a good defensive front, good returners coming back. And now see UT Martin's offense.
And offense led by a second-year quarterback, Kincaid Dent, who spent 4 years at Ole Miss, primarily as a special teams player, but was the starting quarterback a year ago at UTM.
Yeah, having that experience at Ole Miss and getting in here last year, even though he had a couple months of prep to going into that Georgia game, he felt though that game right there set him up for getting better. Having a tough experience like that can only be create mental stability and able to have good play on once the season gets going.
Roberts went in motion. He fakes the handoff to the floor, and he's going to throw deep. He got absolutely hammered, going deep downfield and through the arms of Devontae Tanksley.
So I like the team. I like UT Martin coming here. Coach Simpson going for the big play early to try to, let K-State know, look, we know you're a big team, but we want to come here and show them what we could do. So having that first play like that is trying to, send a message right away. So I do like that.
And he took a pretty big hit here, Kincaid Dent.
He did. That was standing in the pocket hard. That's what sometimes QBs unfortunately have to deal with.
One of the captains this year, Cody Stuffle, being applied to hit on Dent. So second down and 10 from the 25. They fake the jet sweep, hand it off to their running back, LaFleur. He takes over for Sam Franklin, who was their leading rusher a year ago, who transferred to Oklahoma. Des Purnell picks up the tackle for K-State.
Yeah, in conversation with LaFleur, he talked about him being a real energetic guy. Definitely going to have that energy coming early against this K-State defense, and then have that new leadership he's developing as well in the running back room for UT Martin.
After a gain of a couple, a third down and 8, long look to the sideline, a late personnel change for the Skyhawks. Rucker's in. He's going to line up here on the near side. So 4 receivers. And LaFleur in the backfield on third and long. In motion goes Tanksley, and then timeout taken.
Charge timeout, UT Martin. This is the first of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Well, UT Martin opened up last season against #1 Georgia in Athens, and in that game they had a number of times where they had to call timeouts or got called for delay of game, and they basically had to call timeout to avoid the delay of game there.
Yeah, looking the same thing this season already. And so what I saw between the running back, the quarterback, the offensive line were all making line changes and audibles there, and that's not a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing, but then it's a bad thing when you don't get the adjustments in time for the play clock to get the play off. So right there, just show you, yes, you want to make your adjustments. They knew where to go, but you got to still do it in a timely fashion.
Head coach Jason Simpson in season 19, his team has been outstanding, 3 straight OVC titles. It's only translated, though, to 1 FCS playoff appearance in that span. That was in 2021 when they did get their first FCS playoff win. All right, Skyhawks will try it again on 3rd down and 8 after burning their first timeout here inside the first minute of the game.
Getting a little loud there for UT Martin.
It's Tanksley in motion.
Again.
And once again, we get a flag and a false start.
The crowd is helping the Wildcats out right now, so that right
Flag to
there.
the snap, false start, offense, number 6, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
I can see Dalton's, or I see Kincaid's clap, like he's clapping it like, I need you to hear this clap and get the ball to me right now. He was watching the play clock, so the center right there could not hear him getting that clap off to get the ball snapped.
So that's going to push him now to a 3rd and 13 after the 5-yard penalty. They go empty. Now they do move LaFleur into the backfield. With the snap off. Dade looking, harassed, throws, finds the tight end, Max Dowling. He's only able to advance to about the 26. Des Purnell gets his 2nd tackle. Just a 3-yard gain, and UTM will punt on their first possession.
Yeah, I'm liking what K-State's defense is doing right now. They're taking a team knowing who they are, right? They're the OVC champion, and they don't slush down, in the start of a game. So coming in, hats to the ball, you had 5-6 guys to that last tackle right there. That's what you want to see for a team that potentially, I got them in the whole playoff run, as we will talk about later, but to be to the ball like that, they're showing they're setting the stage right now for a tough, hard-hitting game.
Jaron Van Winkle, the new punter. They lost Aiden LaRosse to transfer to Kentucky. Did all their kicking and was really proficient in punting. And he gets that inside the 40.
I don't know.
So very good starting field possession for K-State. And that brings out the sophomore Avery Johnson. He's got the keys. It's going to be fun for K-State fans to watch his development this year.
Yeah, definitely got the keys, and he's a dual threat coming out the backfield, able to run and throw very well. And so being young, I say now they just development. So hopefully during the offseason, Coach Chris had the time and just the details to make sure he learned reading coverages, understanding what too high means for this young quarterback, because really the sky's the limit for him.
Come out with 2 backs, DJ Giddens and the transfer Dylan Edwards on the field for the first offensive play, and he's going to get the throw out of the backfield, avoids 1 tackler, and Edwards will advance it up to the 44-yard line as he picks up about 4, where he's dropped by Jalen Sharp.
So good easy play to get into. You got 2 running backs on the field, so you know it's going to be potential run there, but it's a play action fake. Get the nice easy completion where you could get your receiver open after the play action fake. So good pickup of yardage, but then also easing your sophomore quarterback into a nice little rhythm.
Got the offset pistol look with Oakley, the tight end, in the backfield along with DJ Giddens, and DJ is going to get his first carry, and he bounces forward for a couple of yards to about the 46-yard line. Defensive end Charles Perkins wraps him up.
Yeah, I like Giddens a lot. Watching from film from last year, what he did between the bowl game and obviously the regular season, amassing a little bit over 1,200 yards. He's one of those running backs that just real patient with his offensive line, knows how to let his guys get to the run fits to set up the blocks. Reminds me of a Le'Veon Bell, because he's a Sunday player. Here in the next this season right here, he'll be playing for some NFL team next season.
So 3rd down and 4 for the Cats on their first possession as the stadium gets quiet. Long look, throw comes across the middle, incomplete. It bounces in and out of the arms of Dante Cephas, the transfer from Penn State. And they're going to come off the field. So a 3-and-out for K-State on their first possession. They had scored on their opening drive 10 times last year in the 13 games. 9 of those were touchdowns. In fact, the opening drive of the Pop-Tarts Bowl, led by Avery Johnson, was a touchdown drive.
Yeah, we had a good, good combination in that drive. I know watching that game between Avery with his legs and DJ Giddens with his legs and running the ball the field. So that's what you saw. But defense, good defense here by UT Martin to get that 3-and-out. Good coverage here on that last play. Good zone defense where it was really nowhere to go with the ball.
Simon McClendon doing the punting with Jake Bloomer moved on. It's inside the 10. UTM will start at their 8. Aggieville on this Saturday, first college football Saturday of the season in Manhattan. Not a lot of folks on the streets because most of them are inside Phil Snyder Family Stadium. Well, what is new this season from 4 teams to 12? The expanded playoff conference realignment, including here in the Big 12, 2 teams left, 4 came on. Like the NFL now, there is a 2-minute timeout towards the end of each half, and we have helmet communication from coaches to 1 player on the field for offense and defense. We'll talk more about that as we go on. After the 46-yard punt by McClendon. Second drive for UTM. Both schools a 3-and-out on their first possession. It's kept by Kincaid Dent. Big man runs pretty well, 6'4", 225-pounder.
Yep, big kid there. I say both offenses looking, I say stats are the same. You know, Kincaid 1 for 2, Johnson 1 for 2. Run game as well between DJ and LaFleur. Not much on the ground, but both teams are hopefully slowly getting into a rhythm here in the second possession.
Patrick Smith transfer from Vanderbilt in as he motions out of the backfield, and Dent, there is a flag, a quick strike out to Smith going towards the sideline, and only able to get it back towards the line of scrimmage at the 12.
Our third, I believe third penalty so far in the 2 drives here. Kansas State defense, I'd say, is definitely firing off the ball. A lot of hits to the ball on that play right there, even though it was a penalty call. But something I want to see, something I like to see, is when defenses or even offense side of the ball are moving or getting out there and playing football right away and not letting the game come slow.
Initial call from our referee, Luke Richmond. Looks like they had a couple of guys in
Illegal
motion.
shift.
Yeah.
Offense. 2 players moving at the snap. It's a 5-yard penalty. Take it down.
Well, I guess they're, shaking off a little nerves, maybe a little anxiety for the first game. A lot of excitement. And I say, playing college football myself, that first game of the regular season was always, regardless of who the opponent was, a nice little, you're full of excitement, anxiety, a little bit of nervousness here, and that's definitely what we're seeing right now between both teams.
That spots the ball back at the 7-yard line. There it is, second down for UTM. Dent motions. Tanksley comes to the near side. Handoff. This is Smith running right. He gets tripped up and stumbles ahead to the 9. That was the cornerback, Jacob Parrish, came up and undercut him.
So we got Patrick Smith, the backup to LaFleur, makes a nice little move, gets what he can there. Good tackling there by Parrish, number 10 from K-State. But right now, the run gaps for both teams, running backs are really very few and far between, but you just stick with it. Then the run game usually comes again later on. You start having, 1- and 2-yard gains in the early part of the game, but then later in the game, you keep to it. Then the 2-yard gains, 3-yard gains start doubling to 6 and 7 and 10-yard bursts.
Another 3rd and long for UT Martin. This 3rd down and 9. Dent going to roll back into his own end zone, being chased. He's going to have some room down the sideline. He will get close, but not close enough to the line to gain, which was the 18. They mark him out at the 15. Run out there by Brendan Mott.
It looked like here running back, see Patrick Smith in there, maybe could have picked up that guy to help out, but really not much. The defense, you got Parnell on the missed tackle, but pressure onto Kincaid, so good job again. K-State's defense right here is ready to go. They're fired up. Hopefully the offense can get going this next drive.
Jaron Van Winkle comes on for his 2nd punt. Dylan Edwards back to receive it at about his own 37-yard line. And Winkle gets the end-over-end punt away, bounces at the 45, and it's going to take a UTM hop all the way.
Great bounce.
Down near the 20-yard line, and they're going to down it right on the 20-yard line stripe.
Yeah, Yeah, last punt looked like a shank right at the 40, but this one gets the bounce and then the roll over to about the 19.5-yard line right there. So good job on special teams to then use the field change, maybe get a little motivation there for their defense when they get out on the field to keep the K-State offense not coming out of their side of the field as well.
56-yard punt. Second punt of the game for Van Winkle. So starting position basically from the 20 for the second possession for Avery Johnson in the K-State offense. Jet sweep. This is Jaden Jackson running near side. Gets a nice block on the edge from Jace Brown, but it's broken down and well read. Jacob Stevenson, the free safety, got a good break on that. He makes the tackle. They do get 5. There's Chris Kleiman. Year 6 for him now here in Manhattan. Big 12 title a couple of seasons ago. 5th place finish last year. A pretty big logjam near the top of the conference.
Yeah, having this.
One of the favorites, along with Utah, for this revamped Big 12 this year. An offset pistol with Oakley and Giddens in the backfield. And Avery looks to throw. Lots of time. All the time he wants. Throws looking for Oakley. And it's broken up as Chris Hunter, linebacker, was able to reach there and knock it away.
Yeah, he had all the time in the world, but really, nobody to find the ball to right there. So it just shows me, UT Martin's defense manning up on that last defense right there. And so being smart with the ball, not trying to force anything. He did try to hit the tight end, but good coverage there, man-to-man coverage. But right now, slow part of the game on both our side, offensive side of the ball, but defenses are definitely holding tight, and they're going to have to do that for 4 quarters.
So it is a 3rd down and short, 3rd down and 1 from their 29. And the handoff to Giddens. And DJ's going to have enough for the first down. Needed 1, picked up about 2.5 or 3. O'Shea Baker, who wears number 0 for UT Martin, makes the tackle.
Yeah, good job by Giddens, getting hit in the backfield and still able to bounce forward for the first down. And that's the signs of a good running back there. Having north of 1,200 yards last season as a senior year here to help out the young quarterback, I think is something that's going to be, once the season gets going, we'll see the difference in how he helps out the backfield there.
And he's going to catch one out of the backfield there. Breaks a tackle. Tightrope along the sideline. He'll mark him out at the 37-yard line.
Defense must lead the game due to his helmet coming off.
Giddens had 10 touchdown runs last year, 3 touchdown catches, so he certainly is a part of the passing game as well.
No, he's a Sunday player. He has a little bit of everything what you want from a running back. He has the size, being around 212, but then his ability out the backfield to catch the ball, but then also his ability to run the ball helps out the offense and gives a lot of weapons to an offense like this K-State team has.
Gonna give it back to Giddens. Breaks free down the sideline. DJ on the loose. They catch up to him at the UTM 30-yard line.
Good run, good setup. Patience again, like I mentioned, letting his offensive line get to their run fits to break him open on the big run here. You'll see it's a power play. You got Pullers coming back, but he's able to let this Pullers get in front of him, and then nice cut there. And then I just wish that ball was in the outside arm so you give this guy a little business with the stiff arm to get an extra few yards, maybe even in the end zone, but he gets taken there out there on about the 30-yard line. So good run there by DJ.
I want to see some stiff arm business, huh?
Exactly.
DJ Giddens, 33-yard gain. He had 4 consecutive 100-plus yard rushing games to end the season, 6 on the season. Open is Jace Brown. He's going to be tugged down inside the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, you got Jace Brown, small receiver there, 178, 6 foot, but a guy that can get open and can I'll say from film last year that I watched of Brown and Avery Johnson working together became his favorite receiver. So a guy that he potentially could be that favorite receiver throughout this game here.
Brown played in 10 of the 13 games last year, and he started the last 6 games of the season. Had a very strong second half. Avery keeps. He's going to throw, and he has him open. Braden Lofton, touchdown.
Nice design there of a play-action fake. Lullaby the defense a little bit here with the few plays that were set up before that. So good job there, touchdown there. Avery Johnson to his tight end. Garrett Oakley, or excuse me.
Yeah, Lofton, 23-yard touchdown reception. Coach Kleiman was talking about Lofton this week. He said, look, he's inexperienced, but he's improved. He's going to play a big part for us. That's his first career touchdown catch.
Yeah, good there.
Tennett's extra point out of the hold of McLennan is up and good. 7-play drive, 80 yards, right about 3 minutes. K-State gets on the board in their second possession.
Nice little play action fake. Good catch and run there. Defense being stymied right there with a touchdown.
K-State went 3 and out on their first possession, but on their second, starting from their own 20, march down the field. 23-yard touchdown pass from Avery Johnson to Braden Lofton. He's got the 18th ranked Cats on the board.
All right, we got the play action fake here. We got the movement of the tight ends in the first early part of the play where it gets the eyes of the defenders in the backfield, and that's what you want. When you got the eyes of the defender in the backfield, they're not seeing who's running past them, and you see the touchdown there to Lofton.
Lofton gets his first career touchdown catch for Avery Johnson. His 6th touchdown pass of his career. He has not been intercepted in his short collegiate career. Tennant to kick off. By the way, that extra point he just kicked puts him in sole possession of 8th place in school history with 96 and 99 attempts in his career for the PATs, and this one's going to come out to the 25. Third possession for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, so hopefully the Skyhawks can come out the same on this third possession and get some movement of the ball down the field and potentially into the end zone, because right now with the momentum with K-State's defense and now that offense gained their momentum back from the plays that were set up the touchdown that came in that last drive. Here, you don't want to get behind the 8 ball. Being on the road with a good team, good solid coach, that's good solidly coached as well.
I mentioned UT Martin opened up last season in Athens against #1 Georgia. That was a 7-0 game in favor of Georgia with about 5 or 6 minutes left in the first half. They did wind up losing that game to #1 Georgia 48-7. Coming towards the near side or far side, and not much there. Damian Ilalio, 56, along with Austin Moore there as well.
Yeah, you got an outside run play that is spilled to the outside. Good drop with the defensive end there to make it rough, making the running back doing too much, making him having to jump over in the backfield when you're trying to get your footing to get to that edge. It's a good job by that defense there.
Dent shovels it. Here comes Rucker into round, and he is tripped up. Des Purnell has been all over the field already in this game defensively for K-State.
Yes, he has. He's been causing a lot of problems, getting around blocks right here. You're going to see him does a good job of flowing with the reverse, keeping his footing. As the tape gets going. My monitor wasn't running there, sorry. So Parnell, he good flow to the ball. My monitor wasn't running, so I didn't get to see that. That's why I wasn't saying much. But no, good flow to the ball and making sure he stayed away from getting blocked, was able to avoid the block and make the tackle there.
3rd and long and a sack. Mott gets there. So does Osen Sami, number 44, as they drop Dean back near the 10.
Yeah, Kincaid having a tough time back there. That is definitely a new celebration. It looked like he froze himself in time, but good penetration by the K-State defense up front. I think they just got in with the front forward. It was I'm not sure. I got to see the whole field to see if it was a design blitz, but if not, getting in with your 4 down guys is what you want.
17 is 85 is 17.
Edwards back to receive. Punt from Van Winkle, whose last punt went for 55 yards. They block it.
Man.
Obi Izor blocks it. McAllister recovers. Touchdown on special teams for K-State.
Big play there by the K-State special teams. Getting a block is what you want in any game at any time, because it's extra points on the board, something that you work for all the time as a special team coach, special team coordinator, but you're just waiting to find out if somebody's going to step up and make a big play. So you got an Ozzie kick-style kick that doesn't get blocked very well right there, and it's an easy scoop and score there for K-State's defense right there. So extra points on the board. For special teamers, like I said, it rarely happens, especially in that way. Always kickoff return or punt return, but getting a block punt, that team is happy, and they're going to be excited for the rest of the game to try to make more big plays.
Chris Tennant's extra point makes it 14-0. Look again, special teams for K-State. The block will be Izor. McAllister recovers. That actually was Ty Bowman who blocked it. Ty Bowman's in his 5th year in the program. He's been a beast on special teams for years for the Cats. Listed at number 2 on the depth chart on one of the wide receiver spots coming into the opener, but he does it on special teams again. He's the one that blocked that punt attempt. And for Kansas State, that's what they've been known for, Mon. That's 132 non-offensive TDs, which leads all of FBS since basically the turn of the century.
Yeah, I mean, as a head coach, that's what you want. You want all 3 facets of your team playing well, functioning at a high level. And right now, game 1, to get a block punt in game 1 is definitely you hitting all the notches and hitting all the goals that you want to have going into a game like this.
Those cursed double numbers where 2 guys wear number 8. I want to see that completely evaporate in college football. That's the only thing I want to change about this sport now.
Oh, yeah.
But congratulations, Ty Bowman, who's getting more effort now. More opportunity here in his 5th year.
Yeah, it makes more work for us, right? We're looking around like, we see number 8, but it's a different one.
I knew Obi Izor didn't move that fast.
Right.
He's a defensive end.
Exactly, and I'm like, no, not that one there. All right, but no, good play by Bowman, and now puts his team up 14, and now UT Martin has a lot of work to do just with 4 minutes left here in the first quarter.
In motion comes Devontae Tanksley. Handoff. Narkel LaFleur looking, probing. He kind of pushes his blocker from behind to get maybe a half yard. Parrish there was tracing down the line to follow him. Well, facing some significant transfer portal losses. Sam Franklin, who was an outstanding All-American running back, transferred to Oklahoma. You got guys on the D-line, Davis and Dotson, and then LaRosse, who transferred to Kentucky. Basically did all their kicking last year. So it's not just FBS teams that lose players in the transfer portal to other FBS teams. So do FCS teams like UTM, and not much there. This defense lit up right now. Purnell and Steiger. McKendray Steiger, a loss of a yard.
Yeah, they welcome in 15 guys from the transfer portal here, but on offense right here, the ball is not doing much. The plays are getting, you're getting the snap off. That's about it. Then after that, here comes Parnell and the rest of his buddies come in to bring hats to the ball. And from a defensive standpoint, I remember at the top level, at the NFL level, when you have 4 or 5 hats to the ball to one ball carrier, be it a running back or a wide receiver, you're sending the message all, I say, for the whole first quarter so far to that team. It's like, this is how it's going to be. So it's going to be tough sledding here for this game for UT Martin.
UTM 0 for 3 on 3rd down. Cutting back, Tanksley, and he's going to have their first down and get up near midfield before Justice James catches him and ran him down. Big gainer, best offensive play so far today for UTM.
And it was basically because of K-State's aggression, right? It's a blitz right there, even though it's a double screen and coming out the blitz, that means not many people are up the field. Good block right there on the edge by the receiver for UT Martin, but sometimes the over-aggression, got to be smart with your footwork and try not to over-pursue some of the plays for K-State's defense. 23-yard gain, first down of the game for UTM. They're up at their own 47-yard line. Dade looking to throw on 1st down. Has protection, goes far side, manned up there, but the pass too deep. Parrish had the coverage on Trevante Rucker. So Kincaid, just sitting in the pocket trying to find somebody open, and I say the best decision, between trying to throw his guy open or just throw the ball where his only his receiver can catch it. He done that on that play because it really wasn't much underneath at all. It's a good defense there by K-State and good decision by Kincaid with the ball.
Bring Patrick Smith into the backfield. 3 receivers along with the tight end. And they're going to reverse it. Here comes to the near side. Tanksley cuts back, but once again, the Kansas State defense. This time it is Chidi Obi Izor who makes the tackle for a loss of 2.
So right here on this play, we got a reverse play with Kincaid being one of the blockers, and he has to, regardless of who he is at position, has to finish off his block, do his best job, do a little bit better, even though he's dealing with the defensive end right there. Maybe get a cut block in, because you gotta give your receiver a chance on that reverse to get upfield.
Well, Jason Simpson, the head coach of UTM, who also calls the plays, has really thrown the kitchen sink at him so far. But
right now, yes.
The K-State defense has been up to the task. 3rd and 12 now. Just across their own 45. From the empty set, he throws, has to throw quickly. Intended for Smith. The pressure was coming. Mott was there, and then had to get rid of it before he was ready to.
Again, more pressure from this K-State defense. You have DB linebacker pressure in this 3-3-5 front. Patrick Smith not getting his head around. He should see that blitz and get his head around. That's what his coach is talking to him right there as a running back. You got to see that blitz, get your head around, and help your quarterback out on that play right there.
So Jared Van Winkle will come on again to punt. This time, Jacob Parrish will be back to receive the punt, this time inside his own 10. And Winkle gets it away, end over end. Bounces around the 20 and is going to kick out of bounds near the 15.
Another good punt there.
That's going to bring out the offense again, and sophomore Avery Johnson, who was the Pop-Tarts Bowl MVP, making his first career start, had been backing up Will Howard, and Will Howard had had a lot of success here in Manhattan.
He did.
Won a Big 12 title a couple of years ago. Leaves the program with the most touchdown throws in school history with 48, but he saw the writing on the wall. The future was going to be Avery Johnson at the quarterback position. He winds up at Ohio State, where he made his debut today for the #2 Buckeyes with a win over Akron.
Yeah, knowing that Avery is a hometown, homegrown kid, having the ability that he has, be able to run and throw with his legs, or throw the ball with his arm, get completion there to Jace Brown. But just seeing that, knowing that, okay, for his senior year, maybe the next year too, he's gonna have to fight it out with this young man. In terms of Johnson, that's going to be a tough sell right there, because he can run, he can pass, and then through the development of understanding coverages and how he reads them and how he gets it to a point where he understands where he could go with the ball in any coverage, that was going to be something he had to put up with.
Well, Lamont, in this day of the transfer portal and NIL, you can't look too long term, but they have thrown Avery Johnson the keys to the offense, and I think the coaching staff hopes he doesn't return those keys for several years.
No, I hope not either. He's a homeboy, so good run by, good shoulder right there by DJ. But back to Avery, yeah, it's something where being a home kid, I see him not doing that, giving himself opportunity here to grow, get developed by the coaching staff, and get more decisive and more dangerous with what he can do. Because what I saw in the Pop-Tart Bowl is a little different what I've seen here today. Obviously, it's more game plan. It was probably a couple weeks of playing and prep before the bowl game, before he found out he was the starter there. But now, longer preparation, and maybe is a lot on his mind, in terms of going out there and playing, and not just being the player that we know him as. Good run there.
Dylan Edwards gains 9, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter.
Yes, indeed. So, yeah, Johnson, again, got time to develop. He's still young, but
the first quarter.
Maybe just waiting for the plays that he likes to run here to get a good run in by Dylan Edwards there. So far, K-State offense getting the ball down the field again.
They get a couple touchdowns. The first for the tight end, Braden Lofton. And the other came on special teams, Ahmad.
Yeah, special teams getting the bonus points right there. Something you don't expect in the game plan, but it's always lovely to have them.
Well, last night at the Blue Earth Plaza here in Manhattan, Purple Power Play, the rally before the game last night. Drew a big crowd. Blue Earth Plaza as we start the second quarter. 14-0 Kansas State leading UT Martin. Dylan Edwards gets the first carry of the quarter, takes it up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, that's when you know you're back into college football, or just football in general. All the rituals that happen in every town, every city, every state, pre-game, the day of the game, the night before the game, things like that. It just shows you, hey, we're back to football here in the fall.
Edwards enough for the first down. He stays in the backfield. Avery looking to throw on first down this time. Looking for a deep shot, gets hit as he throws. Brown spinning around and
Loses the ball a little bit.
I don't know if Avery was able to get all he wanted into that throw because of the contact. Well, Matt Wells was hired in the offseason as the co-offensive coordinator, associate head coach, and quarterbacks coach. Of course, longtime head coach, Utah State, as well as Texas Tech in the Big 12. And what Avery has said, Avery Johnson, is that Matt Wells has been a big conduit to what he has learned so much in a short period of time.
Yeah, he got good coaching guys that I think if he was 2012, around the same time as Pat Mahomes. So having that under his belt as well to bring that to Avery Johnson to get him to understand definitely things you got to learn and how to throw, different levels and stuff of that nature.
Run there by Giddens for about 6. Yeah, Matt Wells at Utah State had Jordan Love, and we've seen what Jordan Love has done when he was given an opportunity in Green Bay.
Yeah, he's had a good first year, and now he's going to the second year, got the money he earned, but also is a guy that was sitting on the shelf watching a guy that I knew very well, Aaron Rodgers. And so now Avery Johnson has his turn with a coach that knows how to get young talent to develop in the way they need to.
Looking down on a 3rd and 4. Avery, time, looking, now is going to roll here to the near side. He has room and is going to use his legs, and this is what he does so well. The play breaks down. The next option is run the football, and run he does as he advances it for 16 yards and a first down.
Yeah, it's his first time breaking a line of scrimmage. Once he made a decision here, he's like, nothing's open. You know what, I'm going to take off. And maybe this will get him more into a rhythm, because once you start mixing it up between running the ball as a QB and staying in the pocket to try to find their open receiver, then the defense becomes, I say confused, or it makes them hard to try to defend them.
10th play of the drive here. They have a first down at the 33 of UTM. From the empty backfield, Johnson fires across the middle, and it is picked off by Chris Hunter Jr. First time that Avery Johnson has been picked off in his young collegiate career.
Yeah, it was a pass to DJ Giddens right there. He looked it off and then went right back to it, but didn't really. I thought he was going to put a little bit more touch over the defender there, but did not. And the ball gets intercepted here. If you see the ball, you see the defender kind of eyeballing him, actually undercuts it. Just a little bit more speed on the ball to get the ball in there, or not to throw it at all, because it was pretty good coverage by UT Martin in there to get the interception, and now it's a turnover, first turnover of the game. 2
picks last year for Chris Hunter Jr. We chatted with Chris Hunter Jr. this week. He mentioned what has changed in his game is his mind. Plays much smarter, and he showed that right there, Ahmad.
No, definitely plays much smarter. Learning the defense more, understanding where he needs to be, and being in the right position and reading that route and reading that throw to get the interception to get his team back the ball.
So we'll see if the first K-State turnover spurs the UTM offense. Romaine there to make the tackle, but not before an 11-yard gain by LaFleur. He's going to come off the field.
He's limping a little bit, so he's already getting replaced here.
Patrick Smith's going to come in, transfer from Vanderbilt.
Yeah, didn't like it because Patrick wasn't paying attention to get that replacement back on the field fast enough.
First down from their 44-yard line for the Skyhawks.
Audible changing on over here. Defense often sees something, trying to get out of that play here.
Dent, the RPO, wants to throw. He's getting some heat from behind, and he is sacked. Back at the 33-yard line by Brendan Mott.
Hey, Kincaid sitting in the pocket trying to find his receiver. Maybe sitting in the pocket a little too long. Started to scramble here after the play action. He's sitting and looking. Now it's now time. You got to have that time clock in your head as a QB. Like, either I got to run with my legs or I got to get the ball out of here, throw it out of bounds, and give your team a chance. And holding that ball a little longer got the pressure there for Mott.
Loss of 9. Mott and then Bates help finish off the tackle. It pushes UTM back to their 32-yard line. We're at 2nd and 22. Handoff, going to keep it on the ground this time for Patrick Smith, who picks up about 3. Austin Romaine and Colby McAllister, who had the touchdown on the punt block a short time ago, also there.
So right now the run game is going to lie on Patrick Smith's shoulders until LaFleur gets back on the field. But right now it's been tough sledding really for everybody. But knowing that LaFleur is out the game is going to be a nice little hit to that UT Martin's offense.
It is 3rd and very long, 3rd and 19. UTM 1 of 5 on third down. Line to gain is the 46 of the Wildcats. The empty backfield, he's going to be, no, he stays alive on his feet. Throws on the run and has a man open. Caught by Rucker. Out of bounds near the 20-yard line, and this time it's Kincaid Dent who makes something happen when it looked like the play was dead.
Good job by Kincaid coming out of the potential sack and keeping his eyes upfield to find the open receiver, because K-State's defense kind of breaks down basically once they thought it was a sack with Kincaid there. Lost coverage, kept the receiver. The receiver is wide open to get a big gain here for UTM.
A gain of 35 yards, and now they have a first down. Knocking on the door of the red zone just outside the 20-yard line of K-State. Dent handoff, and into the red zone goes Patrick Smith as the Vandy transfer barrels ahead. We're about 5 to the 15, where he's met by Rex Van Wy.
Yeah, here on the big play here. So you have Kincaid sitting in the pocket, gets pressured, but fights out of it, and this is where the defense has to stay disciplined. They see their eyes again, just like UT Martin's defense on the touchdown play. You got to have that eye discipline to stay finding where your responsibilities are. Safety lost their responsibility, wide open receiver, big game for UTM.
Dowling motions out. Tight end set up on the right side with Smith in the backfield. Now they motion and hand it off here on the jet sweep. The flag's going to come out late.
You're going to have a hold there
after the run by Asa Wande.
So right now the sweeps, this is about the third one that UT Martin has run. Hasn't done much, but obviously you got to keep it in the rotation, but you're going to get a holding call first here.
Holding. Offense, number 87. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
I believe it was on Parnell, who is having a heck of a game right now. He's already up to 4 tackles, but he's fighting off the block, and he's been a problem all day. So again, getting held right there. But the pursuit, which is I love that K-State defense is having right now, the pursuit of everybody to the ball. The cornerback is there, safety, outside linebacker, and other players are there to let the team know. It sends a message to the next team that's on this team schedule, is that this defense is going to play hard to the ball and a lot of hats to the ball as well.
Second penalty against the Skyhawks. They want a timeout. They're going to burn their second one of the half. 8:47 to play first half in Manhattan. 14-0 Wildcats. Last 3 seasons, UT Martin's won outright one, shared 2. They win in 2021. They were the outright champ, won their first ever FCS playoff game against Missouri State. In 2022, it actually came down to a coin flip, an actual coin flip, and they didn't call whatever heads or tails. They called the wrong one.
Exactly.
And SEMO, Southeast Missouri State, went instead of them. And then last year they were co-champs but didn't go. Really the games that cost them, they lost to Gardner-Webb by 4 and then lost to Samford at the end of the season. Otherwise they might have gotten in that large bid, so didn't go to the playoffs last 2 years despite having a share of the conference title.
Exactly, and it was something among the team to look at it as this. When we talked to Chris Hunter Jr., he said basically it is what it is, so we can't worry much about it because we did our best, but we didn't do all of our best out there to go get the championship.
So out of the UTM timeout, this has been their longest drive time-wise. They've eaten up over 3.5 minutes. On the 25-yard line, Dent's going to keep it. He'll be pulled down at the 21 by Jordan Riley.
Got to protect himself there on the run. If the QB is going to become a running back, got to understand, obviously, one, let your run fits get into position. But he took a little good hit right there by the K-State, I believe, DB there. That came up to make the tackle, so he's feeling a little bit, but understanding, look, you got to give their defense, because the defense is very aggressive, got to give them different looks and different things, so having a quarterback run as an option, make sure it keeps them disciplined in their run gaps.
Skyhawks 2 of 6 on third down. This is a 3rd and 11. The line to gain is the 10. They're at the 21.
That was Jordan Riley in for that tackle on Kincaid, gave him a solid hit there.
Play clock's about to run out, and they're going to use their last timeout.
And I know Coach Simpson does not like this. No coach likes this when the play clock is running out.
Timeout, UT Martin. This is the 3rd and final time of the half. It'll be a full timeout.
Coach Simpson forced to use his 3rd and final timeout of the half.
Not happy about that at all.
Head coach, 19th season, longest tenured head coach in OVC football.
Yeah.
Been their head coach since 2006. Great success since hiring Jason Simpson there in Martin, Tennessee. Beforehand, yeah, you know, respectable.
Right.
With Jason Simpson, they've been a really solid FCS program.
They have, and we talked about it in the meeting we had with him, and he gets his seniors together, right, and they meet, and they kind of have an open conversation. They have a good, I'd say, a night where they could just be in their space and kind of unwind and talk about things they usually can't talk about in the locker room or in the meeting room. And so when they do that, that develops good buy-in from the players.
And his sons, Graham Simpson, his youngest is a freshman, but he's the starting quarterback there at Westview High School. They won their first 2 games. And oldest son, Ty Simpson, who's been a backup quarterback at Alabama the last few years.
That is, I say, doing a good job as a parent, raising his kids, playing quarterback, a tough position.
And he played. He played baseball and football at Mississippi State. Then went to Southern Miss as a transfer playing baseball.
Yeah, and I know he's very proud of that too.
All right, back to this 3rd down and 11 call for UTM.
We got a muddy defense right here set up.
Dent finds the open tight end, but he's immediately dropped. That's Max Dowling, a guy who spent his true freshman season down the road in Lawrence at Kansas. Did not play that year. He did play last year, all 11 games after transferring to UTM.
Yeah, took a nice hit in the thigh there. Number 1 from the defense, Kenny and Gerber coming up for the tackle, but and it's still there. The K-State defense is firing on all cylinders. They're on the hits. They're not giving up a lot of big plays out there carelessly. Only the 1 big pass that we've had so far for UTM.
UTM wanting to put up some points off the right hash from 34 out of the hole to Dent. Van Winkle, it is up, it is away, it's got the distance, and it is good.
The kick is good.
Nice.
First field goal for Jaron Van Winkle, 34-yarder. Skyhawks on the scoreboard. It's 14-3. Well, last year K-State finished in the Pop-Tarts Bowl against North Carolina State. Avery Johnson, who wound up being the game MVP, got it started. Dump off pass to DJ Giddens on 4th down, 37-yard touchdown. And on 4th down, the punter, Jake Bloomer,
the now pro BD in front of him to lead him downfield for that 1st down conversion.
There goes Giddens with this scrum. He eventually gets pushed in for another touchdown. And Avery Johnson doing what he does when anything breaks down, uses his legs.
A good job there by the freshman, the true freshman, back shoulder throw there for the touchdown as well. Something that we haven't seen much of today, but it's okay. They got the lead, but got the MVP, get to eat a Pop-Tart. You ever ate a Pop-Tart, Mark?
Many times, but not one as massive as that one we just showed there.
Right.
He became the first true freshman in Kansas State history to win a bowl game. That was his first start.
That's awesome.
So this is his 2nd career start at quarterback, and it opens the season. By the way, for UTM, that last drive that ended in the field goal of 34 yards for Van Winkle, 8 plays, 51 yards, ate up about 5.5 minutes. Their best offensive possession so far today.
Yeah, and it was kind of, extra play. I say extra play, extracurricular going on. You had Kincaid drops back. There's pressure. He comes out of it, and just from the undiscipline of the pressure where it looked like a sack, the defender steps up too far. You get a receiver that finishes off his route to get the completion, big 33-yard gain there. So that's telling the defense, hey, let me stay more disciplined. And then offense, let me fight for what I can to try to make a big play out here to get the ball moving.
So the Cats begin from their own 25. They motion Jace Brown to the far side. Avery looking in his direction now coming back near side and decides to run. He comes to the 30-yard line, to the sideline, and steps out there. So when you have that kind of running ability of Avery Johnson here, Mon, how many – you have to account for him if you're the opposing team.
100%. I haven't really keyed on. We talked about this pregame about seeing if there was a player that was going to be a spy. I haven't seen it yet because the first drive, big hit there by DJ to take the NFL. Good job holding the ball. But hasn't been no time for him to really – take off and run until in the last 2 sequences. And so I think if he continues to do that, yeah, there'll be somebody that'll be put on an assignment and say, hey, you got to spy this kid here because we don't want his legs to beat us up just as well his arm can if he gets in rhythm.
K-State 2 of 3 on 3rd down after that hit by Jalen Sharp of UT Martin.
So we're starting to see UT Martin. Now remember, this is Ohio Valley Conference champion, 3-time champion, and they're now still staying in the fight right here.
Brown motioned out of the trips package on the far side, came to the near side, and he is the target of the pass completion here to the 32-yard line, met there by cornerback Robert Johnson.
Yeah, I'm just feeling right now for Johnson and the offense. I say more for Johnson's. The way you have training camp, because I think for the bowl game wasn't much prep. It was a regular season that went pretty fast, and he didn't get the lion's share of snaps. No, he was coming off the bench as the phenom. I say now sometimes what may happen when you have a lot of prep, you have all the training camp, might be too much on the frontal lobe thinking instead of just going out there and be that player that we see. You know, that led to the interception and obviously not really making decisive decisions to get the ball running with his legs.
So a 3-and-out for K-State. A UTM bounce will kick it back towards the 35-yard line, where the Skyhawks will begin this drive with 5.5 minutes to go in the half. Aggieville on a Saturday, first college football Saturday of the season here in Manhattan. Streets are pretty bare right now because, you know what, there's a football game going on about a mile and a half away. UTM takes over at their own 34-yard line. Kincaid Dent, their graduate transfer quarterback in his second season as the starter. His team down 14-3. Dowling motions. Now he's going to come back to the near side. Hand off. Give it to the back. This is Patrick Smith. And he'll pick up not 4 or 5 up near the 38-yard line. There is Kincaid Dent. Added about 10 pounds in the weight room, he told us in the offseason when we chatted this week. And by the way, you can, when he turns his head, you'll see the mustache.
Yeah, I think that's part of the 10 pound.
Yeah.
Mustache there.
That's he says he's been growing it since May, so that's different from last year.
I like it, though. I like it. But no, working on mechanics, being more patient out there, letting receivers get open. But good defense here. Again.
Smith stayed on his feet after the initial hit, but then Marquise Siegel came in.
Siegel is bringing hats here, blitzing. I believe they've been blitzing majority of the game here. He's already in the box at the snap. You just see him come flying in right there to finish off the tackle there, Patrick Smith. And when you got veteran corners, veteran D linemen, and linebackers that have been working together for the last 2 to 3 years, you have a sequence like, you will have more sequences like that with this defense. This is why I have them going a little bit further. I say being in the FBS playoff coming up later this season.
3rd down and 9. Dent sacked. Back at the 28. Toby Osinsami.
He might have my award for best celebration right now with that pause. But Kincaid, I think this was more of a coverage sack. I looked at the defense just as he started to go down to the ground. I saw everyone covered, but you see him in the backfield here, standing back, and he's just waiting. And it wasn't much. I said there was time. It was a decent block, but offensive tackle got to give his guy more time. Like I said, good job, good thought on celebration there, but not enough time for Kincaid to get that ball out for a completion. 1
sack last year for Osinsami. It came against Troy. He gets one here and forces the punt. Edwards comes up, takes it at the 35, catch. Did not, avoided the first hit, but then gets swarmed under for basically no return, maybe a half yard or a yard up to the 35. For the Colorado transfer, Dylan Edwards, who's playing in his first game.
Yes, indeed. That no fair catch here, by the way.
Yeah, and they look at the running threats. Now you got Dylan Edwards to go along with Giddens and the quarterback Johnson.
Yeah, I remember watching Dylan last year at Colorado. Had a pretty good year. To see him to go in the portal and show up here as well is, you know, adds more threat because he's a great back out of the backfield, along with what DJ already has put together in his nice career here at K-State. And of course, Avery is starting something new, trying to make himself, I say, a quarterback, and I say a team player where this K-State fan base will know who's coming in that backfield to be effective.
There's a run for Giddens, and he's going to push the pile. He just keeps pushing it all the way up to the 42-yard line. Looks like he was going to get maybe 3 or 4, and it winds up being a gain of about 6 or 7 instead.
Yeah, that offensive line knows that from last year's film, watching when BD was in there, and you have the guys that have taken over. You have Oakley and Kitley and Panzier all knowing what to do, you know, get the guys, and once they get to the block, help their running back up the field and also help them off the ground as well, so he gets a little bit of energy boost to get back in that huddle and keep running the ball.
Second down, play fake, throws out to the far side, and it's a first down catch. This is tight end Braden Lofton, who had a touchdown catch in the first quarter to begin the scoring today, his first career. Yeah. Well, Avery is a quarterback, a young quarterback, Avery Johnson, but he knows who he needs to take care of, as you mentioned. That's the O-line. He took him out for a steak dinner recently.
Lovely.
A little spot on Twitter there as well to make sure he takes care of the big guys up front.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do this back during the day. It was no NIL, so it was not even – it was just a conversation of, you know what, if I had this, I'll take you guys somewhere. But once I got to the NFL, I could do this with my big guys, take them out to eat, let them know that you not only, you know, care about good completion there for a big gain so far there.
That's Trey Spivey who gets his first catch of the season. One catch a year ago. It also came in the season opener. It was a 24-yard catch against SEMO. And he has a first down grab right there, and that's going to take us to our 2 minutes timeout. 2 minutes left, first half in Manhattan, 14-3 Cats. Avery Johnson so far today 8 of 12, 81 yards, 2 completions of over 20 yards, 1 of 22, 1 of 23. Everything else under 8 yards. The offense last season, red zone efficiency, and they're knocking on the door of the red zone here, was about as good as it gets when it comes to scoring proficiency in the red zone last season. Giddens spinning, bounces around, and
this has been a photocopy of what I've watched prepping for this game, and Giddens and his run style and the way he ping-pongs off of tacklers in the scrum there, and that's what you want to see as at a running back, where, you know, if his feet are stopped, he's still moving somehow, and he has the talent to do that. That's why I mentioned Le'Veon Bell earlier, because of that patience, and then also when you take a hit, he's not absorbing it, he's bouncing it back to the defender so he could get momentum upfield.
DJ 8 of 8 carries, 62 yards, has a long of 32. They faked the handoff to him, and now they're going to throw it to him out of the backfield, and juggled it and then took a hit. Josh Hastings came in right as Giddens was trying to recollect the ball and never was able to field it and catch it cleanly.
Yeah, not a bad pass by the young Johnson there. Just maybe a little quicker to get his senior running back the ball a little sooner here. So you take the fake of the play action, but then nobody's open, get it to Gideons, but Gideon's in it, got to look it in. It was actually a double grab there, so catch it the first time, senior running back. But first thing I've seen that he hasn't done right, but had pressure on as well.
2 of 4 on third down. Third down and 6 for the Cats. Avery Johnson retreats, now fires. Here's Giddens out of the backfield. Gets to the line of scrimmage, met there, and dropped at the 25-yard line. Only gets a yard. That's number 7, Chris Hunter Jr. once again, who's having a nice game defensively for UTM.
Yeah, and you look at that play, you say, oh, you only pick up 1 yard, but I saw good mechanics there from Gideons doing the chip block, but then being available for his quarterback. And then Avery Johnson knowing that, you know what, I looked downfield, I went through all my progressions, nobody's open, let me get it to my running back. So nice choice there. Just the better team on that play, on that sequence, was UT Martin's defense stopping the play to now have it at 4th and 5.
Well, K-State's got all 3 of their timeouts. It's going to be 4th and 5 here from the 25, and they're going to let it run down and use a timeout here.
Yep. And no need.
Head coach Chris Kleiman.
I think we are
Charge timeout, Kansas State. It's the first of the half.
Where we're at.
30-second timeout.
Definitely in Chris Tenement's range here. Sitting at the 25, which would be a 35-yard field goal attempt, or 30-yard field goal attempt, maybe 31, maybe.
Well, here we are, an official week 1 of the college football season. Preseason poll. This revamped Big 12. Utah, at least by a slim margin, is the favorite to win the Big 12, with K-State right on their heels. Oklahoma State had to beat the 2-time defending FCS champion South Dakota State today down in Stillwater.
And this is definitely in Tenant's range here, 43-yard attempt.
11 of 14 last year. Career long is a 51. As you mentioned, this is from 43 off the right hash. Kind of a line drive going up and through.
Just in there. So we got the
Chris Tennant, it's his first field goal attempt of the season for the senior out of Mill Valley High School in the Kansas City suburb of Shawnee, Kansas. And just 21 seconds left in this first half. Head coach Chris Klieman, interesting to chat with him yesterday. Season number 6 for him. He is the first head coach in school history to make the postseason in 4 of their first 5 seasons. And when you have Bill Snyder as the top coach in school history, that's something to say.
Kansas State is now wearing number 85. 17 is 85.
Kansas State is going to get the ball to begin the second half. You know, they won the toss and deferred. Actually, UT Martin won the toss and elected to receive. Same result, and that being that K-State's going to get the ball to start the second half. Lieutenant will kick off. So Kansas State has scored with their regular offense on a pass to Lofton, on special teams on a block punt that they recovered in the end zone, and now a field goal. And taking a knee, it'll come out to the 25 from Arkel LaFleur.
LaFleur, I don't know if he's going to be back in. He's still limping. He has that leg taped up right now. It's his left ankle. So we'll see if he gets back in the game. If not, Patrick Smith will definitely continue with the carrying the load.
Well, with no timeouts in 21 seconds, I assume we're going to see him take a knee here and take us to the end of the half.
A knee here or a token handoff to the running back, but I'd rather take a knee here. Keep that running back clean for the second half, the way this K-State defense is playing right now.
See what they elect to do here. LaFleur is in the backfield, and they will hand it off to him, trying to stretch it out left, and he is eventually going to be dropped for a loss back at the 17-yard line. Austin Moore and Brendan Mott chased him down.
Yeah, not much movement there by the O-line for UT Martin right now. The K-State defensive front and the linebackers from that 3-3-5 front is getting in there fast and hitting all the gaps. So
that is going to take us to the end of the first half. A 17-3 K-State lead. 184 total yards for K-State in the first half, 83 for UTM. Wildcats scored in just about every fashion possible. Lead 17-3 at the break. When we come back, we'll catch up on all the changes with the new 12-team college football playoff. That's as pretty as a moving picture as you'll get in late August. We welcome you back to the Big 12 on ESPN Plus on Saturday night in Manhattan, Kansas. Sun setting, about to start the second half. A 2-touchdown lead for K-State, 17-3 over the FCS team UT Martin out of the Ohio Valley Conference. Great to have you with us, along with 2-time national champion from Nebraska and the NFL, Ahman Green. What stuck out most for you in half number 1 for K-State?
I would say it has to be their defense.
Yeah.
They were flying to the ball, hats to the ball, and that was the thing I remember once I got to the pro level, playing teams like Tampa Bay defense where it wasn't just one guy. It was like 5 or 6 guys, you know, and then one guy by the name of John Lynch that was always bringing the lumber. But I'm seeing K-State defense the same. When you're doing that, you're sending a message to the team that's going to play you in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
You know, next week and the next week to that, man, this defense is going to be hot and heavy early in the game. And so, like I said, send a serious message to opposing teams.
Well, Avery Johnson, start number 1 this season, start number 2 on the year.
Yeah.
How'd he look in the first half?
He looks okay right now. He has, for me, maybe a lot of thinking. Some of the passes might be a little bit off target, that one to an interception. So maybe thinking a little too much, but good playing design here on the touchdown throw and catch. You had a lot of cross action with the offender players, but then right here using his legs to get the ball upfield for a first down. So he has his moments, but you're going to have that. He's still a young quarterback, still has a lot to develop. And this is just the start of, I believe, a fantastic career here at K-State.
You see his numbers in the first half. The interception, the first that he has allowed in his young career. K-State going to get the ball to start the second half. There's your first half numbers.
Yep.
UTM only 7 rushing yards. Now, this is a team that had one of the best backs last year, Sam Franklin, one of the best backs in all of FCS, All-American, and over almost 1,400 rushing yards. They just couldn't get anything going on the ground.
No, they couldn't. You know, with LaFleur with the ankle right now, and then Smith coming in, obviously not getting the lion's share of carries, probably during training camp, and not having that mindset ready to go.
Brown from the
Big
goal
run.
line. Takes it across the 30, but he lost the football, and UTM is saying they have it.
Hey.
No signal yet from the officials as they
Clear the pile there.
Yes. This could be a huge start for UTM, and they do indeed
Ruling on the field.
get the
A
football.
fumble recovered by the kicking team. Be first down, UT Martin.
All right. We got Jace Brown with the return there, a little loose with the ball. And as he goes, can't really see the kicker was blocking, but as he flips around, ball's already out before he hits the ground. So right here, ball is in good position, but little, I say, unknown contact with his own player sometimes does that. I've been a product of that. I've been a victim of that situation. You run into your own guy, and you just kind of lose thought of ball protection and ball security. So the ball comes out, flips out. UT Martin has the ball here at around the 38-yard line or 38-yard line. Good job.
And what a break for UTM. They get the ball here, as you mentioned, at the 33. They hand off. This is LaFleur. Gets spun around, stays on his feet, and eventually is gang tackled at the 26-yard line. So he does gain about 7 or 8 out of that. And that was his most powerful, aggressive run, even though he seems to still have a little bit of a limp.
Yeah, I mean, he's tough. He's only 170, but in our conversation with him, that's what he knows. That's what he talked about, his energy, what he brings not only to the running back room, but in a situation like this, you have a big turnover. There's an opportunity for UT Martin to take the momentum a little bit here in the second half and get a ball into the end zone. So LaFleur running like that, even with the ankle, still being out there and being a tough player for his team.
Right back to him. He's going to be just shy of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and short. We talked with LaFleur earlier in the week. When he came to the program from McKendree University last year, it was a competition with him and Sam Franklin, and Franklin won that. He backed him up, but he says, I have been waiting to be the feature back, and he has that opportunity at least to start the year. He will come out here on short yardage, 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, come in with the bigger back here.
This is Rashad Raymond in the game for the first time, transfer from VMI. They hand the ball to him, and he barrels straight ahead for the first down. Raymond, 5'11", 205. Compare that with LaFleur at 5'9", 170, and you see why the head coach, Jason Simpson, wanted a little more bulk to carry the football on short yardage.
100%. When you have a bigger back, regardless of the height, if they're north of 205, they have that extra muscle. It just gives an advantage to that running back. So getting LaFleur out of there, switching in the running back helps out your offensive line and gives the confidence for the offense as well to get conversions going.
Raymond spent 4 years at VMI, Virginia Military Institute. He gets his 2nd straight carry, and he'll get to the 20-yard line for a gain of about 3. The weak side linebacker, Rex Van Wy, up to make the stop.
So right now, yeah, we have the big momentum turnover on the kick return here, but right now, the last 2 plays, not much. So you want to try to get more, a big play here to get that defense, because right now you got K-State. You have opportunity to put K-State on their heels here in their territory. So let's get some, I don't know, razzle-dazzle, but let's get a play here effective where you get more yardage to convert the first down and then eventually get this ball in the end zone.
UT Martin trying to take advantage of the K-State turnover on the opening kickoff to start the second half. A little razzle-dazzle, but it was actually just kept with Raymond. Des Purnell, who had a really nice first half. He was flying all over the field. Makes the tackle there.
Yeah, had 5+ tackles in the first half. Going to probably finish with double for the game, but a guy who has been tough to block, causing a holding penalty in the first half for UT Martin's offensive players, and now again disrupting the backfield. And I say for linebackers and D linemen, that's their main goal, is disrupt the backfield to keep the offense from trying to execute their plays.
So it is 3rd down and 5. Line to gain is the K-State 12. Empty backfield. Now into that backfield is Rashad Raymond. He runs out of it far side. Dent, time to throw, hits his man, and that is Tanksley. Devontae Tanksley, first down just outside the K-State 10.
Man, that is so important. Right here on this conversion, he reads through the defense, goes through his progression very well, finds the open receiver to get the conversion, because now the drive continues for UT Martin.
Been a whole lot of pass plays for UT Martin. Out of their 32, just 9 through the air. They get the first down there. Just outside the 10.
Have a little, I don't know if it's confusion or something going on with the ball placement. You had a K-State player running off field. I thought they were going to try to fast snap the ball and get the penalty, but that didn't happen. Referees helped them out there.
Patrick Smith, not much there. BJ Payne and Van Wy once again, maybe a gain of a yard. Coming off the field there, you see number 79, the right tackle, Elijah Bowser, in his first year at UTM after a couple of years at Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, I wonder what was going on in that sequence there, because you had the referees almost replacing the ball. Maybe it was
like they were allowing K-State to sub after
gotcha.
a UTM substitution. And now we're gonna get a timeout called by UTM. So they seem to have a tendency to burn them pretty early.
Yeah,
again here.
They did in the first half as well.
We have 30-second timeout.
So his alignment, he's talking to Patrick Smith right there, the backup running back. So it was probably an assignment he had that he didn't quite execute. And so since the ball wasn't snapped, it most likely was an alignment issue right there.
Well, no stranger for UTM to play an FBS team. Getting K-State ranked 18th tonight. #1 Georgia to start last season. They played Tennessee, Florida. Their only FBS win was against Memphis in 2012. So they are 1-27 all-time against the FBS. But again, they played Ole Miss a number of times. The names you see on there.
Yeah.
And part of that is they're an FCS program. That helps you finance the program.
Correct.
When you're playing those big guys.
Yeah, and then you find where your weight is at amongst the better teams.
And that's what Jason Simpson wants. He wants one of the top programs in the FCS, and what better way to do that than maybe pad your pocket financially and also help your team down.
100%. As we know, that is the way of things these days in college football.
2nd down and 9. Smith running left. Nope, it was kept.
Parnell and crew is back in the backfield again. Right now, UTM, they're trying to throw everything in the kitchen sink at K-State defense, and they're not going for it. They know RPO action, read it, committed to it, gets the loss of tackle, or I say loss of yardage in the backfield. So you got 3rd and 12 here. And again, UT Martin's got to figure out a way how to find to get chinks in the armor of this K-State defense right now to get that ball in the end zone for a touchdown and not settle for a field goal here.
4 of 10 on 3rd down tonight. 3rd and 12. They can get a first down without scoring right about the 1. 3 receivers up top. Dent looking in that direction. Pump fakes, pumps again. Now being chased, gets slung down as he throws and can't get it to the intended receiver. As Osen Sami was the one who put the pressure on him, intended for Trevante Rucker.
Hey, he couldn't done any better as a quarterback in the backfield right there. He's going through his progressions. He's being patient with the ball, trying to find his open receiver, but couldn't. But a good job to there. Instead of taking the sack, getting the ball out and thrown towards the line of scrimmage and thrown towards a receiver in the area.
And what looks like a win for the K-State defense here to start the second half. They're going to hold UTM to a field goal attempt. 30-yarder, 31 off the right hash and out of the hold of Dent. Ball down, kick is up, and Van Winkle hits it.
The kick is good.
So he hit from 34 in the first half and now 31. And makes it an 11-point game early second half. Cooper Beebe back in the house, the new Dallas Cowboys center, going to play center in the NFL, a position he's never played, but played left guard at K-State. His number 50 eventually is going to hang in the Ring of Honor here. Shouldn't take very long. So Cooper's back. His younger brother Camden, the injuries just got to be too much, and unfortunately Camden had to basically retire from playing. He's now become a student assistant. He's up in the press box there in the booth with the offensive coordinator, Connor Riley, and some others. There he is with the backwards baseball cap. That's Camden Beebe, now a student assistant. Unfortunately, his playing days are over. Yep. But we got both Beebe brothers in the house here.
Yeah, for
At least
sure.
2 of them tonight.
Yeah, watch some film on him. Beebe is a guy who likes to block and very good at it. And in terms of his brother, I definitely understand old linemen and their players. I had a teammate, Marco Rivera, in Green Bay, who had probably a total of 3 or 4 surgeries per arm and knee and stuff like that. So they put in a lot of sacrifice and to help us, as other skill players to get the ball up the field.
Well, Avery Johnson will get his first opportunity here in the second half due to the fumble on the kickoff return by K-State to start the second half.
So hopefully he's not cooled down here, having that extra sit.
9 of 14. Yeah, there's your numbers for him in the first half. 1 TD, his first career pick as well. Starting from their own 25. Giddens. Nope, kept. Guess who? With his legs this time. It was an interesting conversation with Connor Riley yesterday, the new offensive coordinator, also offensive line coach. How many times did they call a design run for him, for Avery? This looked like a design one.
This was the first one.
Yes, this
of
was
the
it.
game. This was it. I mean, all the other ones was something that he saw in the coverage. No receiver was there, or receivers were covered, so he takes off. But that one was designed, first one.
Now he throws and finds Brown, who gets immediately bumped down there by O'Shea Baker. In that conversation yesterday, because he runs so well, you want to run him, but he does so much on broken plays with his legs. Their predicament is we don't want to run him too much. We don't want to expose him to injury. So they don't really call a whole lot of design runs. They're mostly just him working broken plays.
Yeah, and I believe that's the best way to approach it for scrambling cornerbacks these days. Is something that a coordinator has to have in mind, where they're going to find opportunities to get the ball upfield. But good run by DJ Giddens there, getting the ball upfield himself. But yeah, leave it in their hands where they make the smart decision, and they're learning to be a quarterback and a decision maker out there on the football field.
It's a 9-yard run for Giddens to give K-State a first down into UTM territory at the 43-yard line.
Giddens quietly creeping up on 100 yards here, 7.4 average at the moment. So the senior doing what he's usually done in running the ball, being effective.
Another carry for DJ, but this time sniffed out very quickly by Jalen Sharp, and a loss of a yard.
Yeah, Sharp and crew gets in the backfield on rare occasion. That happens to the K-State line here. Penetration during a run play that doesn't give DJ a whole lot of room and a whole lot of space to get yardage upfield. So good job getting off the block for UT Martin and then stopping the progress of Giddens to get upfield.
Sharp really the returning defensive leader, so to speak, for UTM. 3 seasons at Charlotte. Was second team all OVC last year. Now running right, turning upfield. Dylan Edwards. I haven't seen a ton of Dylan Edwards tonight, but what we have seen has shown his skill set.
Yep. So watching him at Colorado last year is the same style of runs and plays they designed for him here at K-State. Outside zone screen plays and stuff like that, because he is a smaller back, can't take those bigger hits that DJ Giddens can take, but he's leading. DJ is leading the block out there, so he's being a team player right there, being the lead blocker for Edwards on the edge.
It's been an interesting route for Edwards to get here to K-State. Here's a flip by Avery Johnson. Not much there, because Avery Johnson and Dylan Edwards have been friends since about first grade. I asked Avery yesterday, how long has it been? He said, I think it was first grade. They played football together. Their parents, their dads were buddies, and still are. And they're both from the Wichita area. Dylan looked like he was going to come to K-State, didn't he? Went to play for Deion Sanders in Colorado last year. Now he is here, place where his dad Leon played, and now back with Avery.
Yeah, I mean, what I saw, great season, pretty good season for him at Colorado. So I'm start doing my research when I noticed he was on the roster. I was like, oh, wow.
Avery underthrows Brown there. Let's take you back. Really not all that long ago, because these are some pretty young guys playing football together in early childhood. Dylan Edwards and Avery Johnson. So they go back a ways. With a little swag.
I love it. Brings back a lot of memories there.
Got the baseball caps turned around. And the buddies are now teammates at the collegiate level for the first time. Cats facing a 3rd and 10. 2 of 5 on third down tonight. The throw's going towards the end zone, and the intended receiver really didn't seem to be focused on the throw. Dante Cephas, into the back corner of the end zone, falls incomplete.
Yeah, we have Johnson standing in the pocket tall, looks through coverage and just sees an opportunity, but didn't, like you said, receiver did not finish his route. There was a quarterback moment there where he knows his receiver should continue running. Receiver kind of broke it off because he had coverage inside and out, so just felt the need to slow down, and that slowing down is where the ball was overthrown.
Tennant hit from 43 in the first half. This from 45, spinning and up and through. So Tennant is 2 for 2 tonight as he connects from 45 for his second field goal to make it a 20-6 game. About 5.5 minutes left third quarter in Manhattan. Well, K-State had their Athletics Hall of Fame dinner and ceremony and induction. And Kevin Lockett.
I remember that guy.
Gets inducted. Great class. Jacob Pullen. You got Deb Patterson, Diana Miller, Nick Leckie. Kansas State Athletics Hall of Fame. Big night for them last night. The Lockett family.
I love it.
Of course, you have Sterling here now. Tyler was here.
Yep.
And then Sterling and Tyler's dad, Kevin, was here, and their uncle Aaron also. How about that bottom part? Combined for over 5 miles of receiving yards.
Hey,
and Sterling can add to that over the next few years.
Yeah, family tradition going there, playing against Tyler, or Kevin, excuse me, when I was in college. Well, not against him. I was on offense. He was on offense. But then, but still watching him play, being a good, solid receiver, punt return, kickoff return from time to time as well. Solid player. So to be a proud dad to have all his sons to follow right behind him.
Then it kicks that one out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team, number 17. I ruled the ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Yeah. It's good to have, that's the only bad thing that Tennant's done today. Ball just kind of haphazardly goes out of bounds. It's a good thing for the special teams, for K-State. That'll be the one bad thing they talk about tomorrow.
Yeah,
in
gotta
film.
find something.
Tomorrow or Monday in film review.
5:39 to play third quarter, 20-6. Kansas State got a couple of touchdowns in the first quarter. One on the touchdown pass to Lofton, the other on the block punt that they recovered in the end zone. But since then, the two teams have each traded a couple of field goals.
Yeah, and it shows what UT Martin being the conference champs, you can see the fight is still there. They just don't fall over or just throwing a white flag or white towel to say, you know what, you got this game.
Offense, number 8, 5-yard penalty, first down.
This is the first play of the drive.
Yeah, but again.
Well, yeah, the helmet communication is new this year. Now, at the FCS level, they don't have it, but UTM is able to use it tonight because they're playing at an FBS opponent.
Correct.
They'll get a chance to use it one more time later in the year when they're at Kennesaw State that's September 28th when they play at Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State's now FBS. Here's Dent. He's going to throw it, and he's looking for Tanksley.
Oh, got it there, receiver. Man.
Got a hand on it
at
the 20. And if he comes up with that, this game would have changed on a dime.
Got to have that. You got a quarterback under pressure right here. You see on the film. You got Parnell again at the legs of Kinnick. Receiver has the ball literally on his fingertips. Got to bring that in, Devontae, to finish that play off there. Because if your quarterback is going to sit back there and take these hits that he's taking, he wants, that kind of makes the hits feel a little less sore on the next play.
Tanksley's been their guy. He had 54 receptions last year. He has 107 catches the last 2 seasons combined at UTM.
So, yeah.
Jordan Riley and Mott here on the tackle this time of LaFleur.
Yeah. LaFleur toughing it out. You can tell. I can still tell that left ankle is bothering him, but you know what? He's being, like he said, is a leader and running through pain. I remember a lot of days myself running through ankle injuries or ankle sprains where it's a little sprain, but it's better for me to be out here running because then my teammates see what I'm doing, and that'll give them a little motivation to play harder.
Here's your look at third down attempts. Spinning on that LaFleur.
Good tackle there
Didn't get much.
by Parrish.
Parrish.
Yeah.
It's going to be fourth down.
So yeah, we got LaFleur. Good set up for the screen. Better tackle here by the defender there. Parrish coming up for K-State there. So the wide receiver, the running back and the lineman were set up, but then just a fantastic play there by Parrish to help his defense, actually save his defense from getting off that field, because the linemen were already out and they could escort LaFleur to a first down and even more on that play right there. So good job by Parrish.
Edwards is back to receive the punt. Jaron Van Winkle. Good punt. It's going to send Edwards back inside his own 15 to the 13. Gets by one tackler. A couple.
Wow.
Nice return by Edwards. He really had to fight his way for just about every yard to get up near the 30.
Yeah, guy.
3:46 to play. Tell you what, those streets right there are going to be filled with people in about an hour and a half. Trust me. th consecutive sellout here at Bill Snyder Family Stadium tonight. Over 51,000 in attendance. Witnessing the offense under the control of Avery Johnson. He's part of this three-headed running monster.
Yes, he is. You know, having the game he's having so far, kind of like right down the middle of the road. And so I say, as a coach looking at that, he could just do nothing but get better from here.
Keegan Johnson, been kind of a quiet night for him to this point. He will get it ahead up to the 35-yard line, tackled by Josh Hastings. Second year now for Keegan Johnson after his time at Iowa. And you played with his dad at Nebraska, correct?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Cluster Johnson. I know he's watching, or he might be here in the stadium watching. All three sons had the opportunity to play D1. I know Cade, the oldest, may be on Seattle Seahawks practice squad right now. So shout out to them. Bellevue West graduates in South Omaha up there near Offutt Air Force Base.
Keegan picked up 6, so it's second down and 4. Avery hands to DJ Giddens this time, cuts it up, and is going to be about a yard and a half short of the first down. We'll bring up third and short. Giddens picks up 3.
Yep, got it. So you got a point in the game right here, in and off the third quarter. Want to get another score here, touchdown for this K-State offense to kind of put the nail in the coffin. But then also you start getting into a rhythm of your offense in this part of the game.
Cats 2 of 6 on third down, third and short here, and the easy answer is to give it back to you-know-who. Let DJ pick up the first down. Needed 1, gets 3, and they move the chains as we get under 2.5 minutes to go in this third quarter in Manhattan.
Yeah, we have Giddens over 70 yards rushing here, 6-yard average. But that, if you watch the defensive line for UT Martin, are coming up, getting off the ground a little bit slower because that run game is starting to wear on them, in the third quarter.
Edwards takes Giddens' spot in the backfield with Avery Johnson on first down at their own 41. He gives it right to Dylan. Edwards. Nice burst, gets him all the way to the 45 of UTM. Another first down for the Wildcats as he picks up 14.
Yeah, good job here by Edwards. Gets the handoff. Good cut there, and acceleration up the field instantly. And that's definitely a reason he was at Colorado, but him coming here, bringing that new element, because you now have 2 backs where they're 2 different running styles. And it's going to definitely keep a defense on their toes, and it's going to always be a off balance between plays. You have that play, DJ carries the ball, and you have Edwards the next play, and now it's a speed element and quickness element that's added that throws the defense off in their timing to try to make sure they get a solid tackle done.
Yeah, 4 carries, but look at the average.
Yeah,
10 yards a carry.
It could be working on a new name of running back, smash and dash right here. For K-State.
I like it. Might have to trademark that before we get off the air. There's a throw by Johnson. He has a wide open Brown into the end zone, but he came down just prior to the goal line. They're going to mark him down at the 1, a 44-yard pass play.
Yes.
First and goal And for Avery Johnson,
hurry up, hurry up.
That is now his longest pass completion of his career. Prior high was 43, and that came against TCU.
There it is.
And he gives it to Edwards to finish it off with a 1-yard touchdown run.
And something I haven't mentioned, in the description of what Avery Johnson is doing, he's also been very patient, right? Because this whole game hasn't much been there. He has the receivers are covered. He runs. He has to find the run time to run, but to wait to get this play on a play action and a deep ball to get the completion, because he had one I think in the first half it was a deep ball. It was an incompletion. And then we saw the last pass where the receiver broke off the route. So now you got a big play. So also as a QB, you got to have that patience, and it's getting developed right here in this opening game of the regular season for K-State.
10 it on for the extra point. 27-6, K-State. First touchdown run as a Wildcat for Dylan Edwards, and really the big play was this 44-yard pass to Jace Brown.
So sets his feet well, getting the position to get the ball down the field, just a little short in terms of where he catches it, in terms of getting the ball into the end zone, which is right there on the 1-yard line. There, ball moves around a little bit, but either way a score. And so teammate to teammate from ages 6 and up, there you go. Edwards and Johnson been knowing each other since the Little League, and to get the score here at the college level in front of a home crowd can't get any better than that.
Number 17 is covered, now number 85.
6-play drive, covered 71 yards in 2 minutes and 47 seconds, and with just under a minute to go in the third quarter, 18th ranked K-State's now opened up a 27-6 lead.
Yeah, if I'm DJ, being a senior running back and knowing what I've done, and then say that I did see the ball move a lot on that, but we're 3 plays behind that. It does touch right there as the rubber came up, but referees missed it. We have 27 to.
It was not reviewed.
6 score right there, but like I was saying with DJ being a senior running back, and now you got Edwards in this backfield, a kid that, as you've seen already, Mark, the speed, the quickness, and then I'm thinking ahead, right? Yeah. You got big games coming up. You got a Big 12 conference schedule coming up. This is going to be a team that whoever they play got to be ready. Not only you got Avery Johnson, but then you have Edwards and Giddens doing their thing, and so you got to have a lot of emphasis on the defensive side of the ball to know who to stop and when to stop them.
Dent stops, being pursued, fires back across the field for Tanksley, who did get a hand or two on it, but incomplete as Kendre Steiger was there on the coverage.
Yeah, could have caught the ball, just didn't set his feet the right way, and it was kind of a fast bullet that Kincaid got fired off to him there on the almost completion on that first down throw.
Handoff. This is Patrick Smith.
All right.
Nothing there. Ryan Davis, the defensive end, for 52, able to blow that one up. The redshirt freshman, Phoenix.
Yeah, that K-State defense muddying up the holes. You saw Patrick Smith stuttering his feet right there, not really making a decisive move because he was trying to find the run gap. Nothing was there, and good job there by the K-State defense to stop him in the backfield.
Yesterday, talking with the Wildcats defensive coordinator Joe Klanner, they are really happy with their depth on that defensive line. They can rotate some guys in there. Davis a part of that rotation. Clock running. Just over 10 seconds to play in the third quarter. Dent rolls right again. Fires on the move. Deflected. Incomplete. That was intended for Tanksley, but it was Steiger who leaped in the air and got a hand on that and almost allowed the secondary to intercept that ball on the carom.
It was almost the tip drill that DBs practice. So you got Kende, good fake on play action, getting the ball up, good throw, but didn't get the ball just high enough there to get it over the defender's hands, gets tipped, and if it was a defender just right behind him, that would have been a turnover, but we got the normal, the old-fashioned 3 and out here. and turn over a play there.
And Jordan Dunbar, number 34, the corner, was just waiting back there, and
Yeah, just missed his finger.
he thought he could come up with the pick off that deflection. So the punt there by Van Winkle is going to go out of bounds. They're going to say at the 40. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter in Manhattan with K-State up on UT Martin 27-6. Well, as we enter the fourth quarter in Manhattan, let's take a peek at Amon's top 5 Big 12 running backs. DJ, on your list of 5.
Yes, of course. And then Ollie Gordon starts it off. They're both him and DJ are Doak Walker, I say, finalists or potentials there. And Devin Neal, another great runner here in the Midwest, here in the Big 12. Does a lot of the good things for the Jayhawks offense. And then Taj Brooks and RJ from Central Florida just to round out the bunch there. A good bunch of runners.
Speaking of DJ, Giddens. There he goes. DJ inside the 25. Eventually run out at the 15.
I say on cue with the runners there. The senior does a good job here, gets the ball. Blocking is what you want. Finds a nice little seam to make a nice little quick cut. Doesn't quite have the speed to outrun everybody, but gets what he can down the field. And again, got momentum going forward for his offense here in the red zone to get the ball into the end zone again. Good job, DJ.
Safety LeBron Morgan is down for UT Martin. Guy who played JUCO football in Kansas at Highland Community College for a year, which is in Highland, Kansas, about an hour northeast of here. While they attend to Morgan, we'll take a quick timeout. Fill the bill. In Kleiman we trust. Now, you know, Chris Kleiman, he inherited a pretty tough situation when you come in to replace somebody like a legend, Coach Snyder.
Yes.
And he had won a couple of championships, Kleiman, at the FCS level in North Dakota State, but he has been spectacular as their head coach now in his 6th season.
Yeah, when you come in, year one is all about building your foundation and taking a little, I say, knowledge from the people, their predecessors. So if you know that at the college football level to do that, then you're setting yourself up for success.
James was able to, Morgan to get off the field under his own power, and there goes Dylan Edwards, touchdown, K-State.
Great play design, something that we saw from the first play in the first quarter there, almost the same, but just with Dylan Edwards coming out the backfield. And this is the problem that I've talked about earlier, that they're going to present to upcoming teams. So you see this play action fake, everybody's looking in the backfield, but they see DJ, but forget about Dylan going up the field. So again, teammate to teammate, since they were kids, handoff last drive, a few drives ago, now a touchdown throw to his old teammate there to get the ball in the end zone, increases the lead over UT Martin. So yeah, having a good drive, good series, good call there by the offensive coordinator.
Tennant knocks through the extra point. Just 2 plays, 63 yards. Really made set up by Giddens. 48-yard run, which, by the way, was just 1 yard shy of equaling the longest rush of his career. He had a 49 is the most. But Edwards, after getting that touchdown run just a few moments ago, gets a touchdown catch. His second TD tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still in wonderment, wow, how he is not a Buffalo and he's here. But I know K-State fans and the players like, hey, you know what, our gym now. And so he gets up to a touchdown there. You have a backfield that is, I say, volatile to any opposing defense that will come into the stadium and any team they face on the road.
I think the K-State fans are saying, Dylan, why didn't you just come here in the first place?
Yes, since he's from the state, yes.
Yeah. Why did you need to go to Boulder?
Yeah, so there's the transfer portal addition. Dylan, Dante, and Easton Kilty from North Dakota, offensive tackle. So right now, all 3 of them are playing this game here.
Yeah, Dylan's dad, Leon, played running back for Kansas State 1992 to 94.
Nice.
So he comes back to where his dad played for a handful of seasons. In the end zone, touchback, it'll come out to the 25. We're still very early in this fourth quarter.
We are. We got a very comfortable lead. I say, you know, as a coach and seeing what my quarterback has done, I want him to really go through the gambit of understanding, like getting some plays in that really gets him to a groove. You know, not, you know, I don't want him to force passes. I don't want him to do that. I just want him to get the time. So it's like, because this is a point of game you want to maybe bitch some players, but not in this instance. You have a true sophomore, excuse me. You want him to get more reps. It's all about getting plays, and this would be a time to do that and keep him in there for the length of the game.
Then hands off. It's Glover Cook. We have a new quarterback, actually. That's Kaiya Sheron. So we were told by the head coach of the Skyhawks
this could happen,
that he could get the transfer from Kentucky in the game. There's Kaiya Sheron, who spent a couple of seasons at Kentucky, 3 years actually at Kentucky. One of those was a red shirt. One start for them. That was in 2022 against South Carolina. He backed up Will Levis 1 year, backed up Devin Leary there at Kentucky last year. So he gets his first appearance here as Fabris makes the tackle. It will be a first down here for UTM.
I know LaFleur is out with the ankle, and Patrick Smith unfortunately had some mistake on plays where that got him out of rotation, and that's why we got Cook in there from a running back standpoint in the backfield.
First down, Skyhawks from the 37-yard line. Sheron hands off, and Glover Cook run down there by Rex Van Wy. And also Tuiasa Sopo and Seumalo there.
So same run play, 3 plays in a row. I think the defense is going to figure this out real fast. You got the defensive front getting in there, causing damage, penetration in there. So right now we're looking at 2nd and 13 for the UT Martin's offense.
Uso Seumalo, again, a part of that very deep D-line rotation for K-State. This is Cook again. Glover Cook getting his first carries. He's a transfer from Florida Atlantic, spent 4 seasons there. The guy is a two-way player, also playing defensive back. Some carries here.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for any quarterback to come in at this point in the game, where you got a defense that's been highly aggressive and very successful throughout this game. And right now, all you can really do is hand off the ball, because you haven't really been throwing the ball a whole lot. So, got to take your time, and the offensive coordinator has to be smart and precise in giving you and throwing you out there to throw the ball when you haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to do that.
UTM is going to use a timeout.
Charge
That'll leave
timeout.
them one left.
UT Martin. Be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah.
They face a third down, 3rd and 15. And again, we've got quite a bit of football, 12 minutes plus to play here in the fourth quarter. But
timeout of the half.
if UTM is going to look at this game, this was a 17-3 game at the half.
Correct.
And K-State turned it over on the opening kickoff of the second half. UTM settled for a field goal. If they're able to get a touchdown there, it's 17-10. And then there was the long pass play that Tanksley couldn't come up with that would have set them up with a first down inside the red zone. For me, it's the drive to start the second half and that missed play that really kind of turned things offensively that kept them from really making a run in this game.
It's the same for me. And Coach Simpson is going to, these will be talking points in game review, right? And saying, hey, when we have these moments, especially against teams of this caliber, we got to take advantage of those situations. And so having a turnover and not scoring, but only getting, I say not scoring a touchdown, only getting 3 out of that, those are those moments. And the big catch to players, hey, you got to make a play. If you got to dive for it, make that little stretch to get the completion.
Sheron on 3rd down. That is shy of the marker by about a yard.
Purnell on the tackle there, probably with his 7th or 8th tackle of the day.
And at their own 37, they are going to bring out the punter.
Yeah, that jersey is a darker purple.
4th and 14, pardon me. It's 4th and long.
Yeah, that jersey's a darker purple. He's been making a lot of big tackles out there for his defense.
Sterling Lockett's going to go back to receive this punt at the 25. So he's talked about his dad's induction last night in the Kansas State Athletics Hall of Fame. Sterling from the 25. Hits the 30. 35. About a 10-yard return for Sterling Lockett.
Solid return.
A big night for his dad especially. K-State offense back on the field when we come back. Kansas State going to take possession here with still 11:16 to play in the fourth quarter, and it appears that Avery Johnson's night is finished. His first start this season, second overall. And there's the numbers. What'd you think of the performance of Avery Johnson?
Not bad. I mean, to be efficient with the ball, only 7 incompletions there. Had the 1 interception. That's the only thing I'm going to harp on as a coach. But 37 rushing yards, so did everything with his arm and his leg that he could do for his team.
Well, when we've talked with Chris Klieman, they have said all weekend through camp, they said, hey, Taquan Roberson and Jacob Knuth are even in the battle to be the backup quarterback. And they said, we describe it this way. Knuth, who hasn't played, this is going to be the collegiate debut here for Knuth, who didn't play last year for K-State and did not play for Minnesota in his time there. Roberson has played a ton. He played at Penn State. He played at UConn most recently. They said Roberson has the most experience, but Knuth was with us last year, and he knows our offense better. Okay. So the question would be, if it got to the point where the backup was going to come in, who would it be? And it turns out to be Knuth.
Right. So it really goes on the coach's preference, right? What they feel when they see, when they watch practice, and through what he knows with the playbook, like he mentioned there from Klieman. So it's really that simple.
Hand off to Joe Jackson, who's getting a carry here. His first for Joe Jackson, a redshirt freshman who played in the season opener against SEMO last year. Also the Pop-Tarts Bowl. There's Roberson last season at UConn. He played 2 years there, 3 at Penn State. But not a ton of playing time. 18 career games over 5 seasons, 11 starts. You look at his career numbers.
And a little coaching under James Franklin. They're in the Big 12 or Big 10.
Knuth fakes the handoff. He's going to put it in the air. No, he's going to run with it. Knuth takes off, lowers the shoulder, and he'll have a first down with a run up to the 47-yard line. He's the one that applied the hit on Jalen Sharp that time.
Exactly. We're trying to, create a situation for himself. Hey, get that first down, go ahead first. Thank God he's the backup for the coaches watching from the sidelines here, but sees what he sees, nothing there, tuck it and run, protects himself, getting the ball up the field, first down.
So his first collegiate carry results in a first down. Now he's going to hand it off again. This time Joe Jackson down the sideline inside the 25.
Yeah.
Pushed out of bounds there. We're going to mark him out at the 21.
Yeah, we got UT Martin player down right now.
Slow getting to his feet.
So another run here. Good patience with the ball, but then blocking is even better. Turns on the wheels, gets upfield here, gets pushed out of bounds. And on the tackle, looks like the DB there twists his ankle or a knee on the tackle. But you got Jackson, who's the 3rd string, I believe maybe 2nd string running back here for K-State, getting yardage up the field here in the 4th quarter. So for UTM's defense, it's just attrition setting in now. That offense has been potent, run game over 250 yards today. So right now, it's just basically one stack at a time.
McGoy came off the field under his own power, the cornerback. Now the pass is completed to Andre Davis, redshirt freshman out of Blue Valley High School in the Kansas City area, whose dad, of course, played in the NFL a bunch of years. So he gets his first career catch. He redshirt last year.
All right, attrition. Tired defense right now for UTM. Got to work through it, though.
James White, who came in 3rd on the depth chart of the running backs, comes into the game now, number 47 for Kansas State. Knuth will give the ball to him.
There it is.
And he's in the end zone, touchdown.
Yeah, you got a wore out UT Martin defense right there. Good job.
K-State has scored on every drive here in the second half. That's their 5th drive of the half. And the James White Played at the Air Force Academy for a couple of years. He's from the Kansas City area, though, Lenexa, Kansas, the St. James Academy. Attendance extra point is up and good. 41-6. K-State. Everybody getting in the act here.
Yes, it
In the
is.
second half. White to the end zone for K-State. Jacob Knuth led a 6-play drive, 65 yards in under 3 minutes for the White touchdown on the ground. If you look at K-State and their numbers, a couple things really stick out here, Ahmad. Number one, like so many teams, K-State offensively feels like, okay, we need to establish the run. Yeah. They did that tonight.
They did.
Defensively, we need to stop the run. They've definitely done that tonight.
Yes, they have. And then even though you look at the time of possession and it favors to UTM, UT Martin, you wouldn't known that by the scoreboard or that, anything else. But that's the only thing they've kind of lost out on.
That's Ahmad Green, Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer. So we have the last 8+ minutes here in the fourth quarter from Manhattan. I'm Mark Daly, 41-6, number 18 K-State. And UTM will take possession here from their 25.
Yeah. And I'll say an old K-Stater too that I saw this week back up in Green Bay area at a Packer Hall of Fame banquet, and my good old friend and teammate Jordy Nelson, who was a fantastic player here, walk on in the beginning, walked out with a scholarship, and met him. And I know his box over in that left-hand corner of the south, or south stands, I believe. And got his little kids running around, probably keeping them busy right now.
Sharon hands it off, and bouncing off one tackler is Rashad Raymond for a couple of yards up till the 27. So you went into the Packers Hall of Fame in 2014. Jordy went in last year, 2023.
So we're teammates on and off the field, we'll say. Yeah, that's him on the left just chilling. His wife is next to him talking. But no, I just hadn't seen him in about a year. It was probably last year where I saw him at the Packers Hall of Fame banquet where we all get to come back and have a nice reunion of such. But he was a fun teammate. He was young when I got back to Green Bay in 09. That was my final year with the Packers. But I knew that kid. I knew he's going to be up to a whole lot of good.
Wande tripped up at the 29-yard line with Jack Fabris. Hey, your time with the Packers, you played with Favre and Rodgers.
Yes.
Now, there obviously was a time when Favre gave way to Rodgers. Now, I'm not going to compare that to what happened here at K-State. There was
the end of the year,
a little bit of similarities where Will Howard basically saw the writing on the wall, leaves, and Avery is the guy. I mean, kind of similar. They pushed Favre out to the Jets.
Yeah, it was definitely that was a push. Here, knowing what happened with Howard, he just kind of did it amongst himself, and then having transfer portal there too available to help go with the decision to push it through makes it a lot easier, because having a homegrown kid starting
UT Martin
at a position that you're at and trying to grow is going to be tough, moving forward as an elder statesman on the roster.
So Chris Kleiman now in his 6th season, his first 3 years, he had the same quarterback. It was Skyler. Now Skyler had injury problems.
Correct.
And he would have some issues, but he was the starting quarterback in 19, 20, and 21. The 3 years since then, it's been a different guy every season for the starter. Yeah. With Martinez,
I'm aware of Martinez. He was a Nebraska quarterback as well.
Will last year when they played SEMO in the opener. Now Avery Johnson tonight against UTM.
Yeah, and you have to be able to, obviously, being a good coach, you got to learn to adjust to the seasons. From your players you recruit to the players now that you're going to get in the transfer portal, you got to be ready to adjust on the run and know and have a good game plan and what to do with them once they get on, and how to develop them to make sure they kind of assimilate into your team's roster and into your team's ways.
Third down at 6. Sharon is sacked.
Ball's loose.
Number 12.
Saw that coming. And this
Cam Salas in the game, number 7.
By number
The sack, and
7.
like as you mentioned, Amon stripped it loose.
Yes, we have QB just up, going through his progression, but the speed
Yeah.
he's not accustomed to, right? He's coming in fourth quarter. Like I said, this is a tough job for the backup to come in fourth quarter where you got a defense that is, they're not hot, they're nuclear right now in terms of their pace of ball. And so to him, coming and trying to read progression, he's going one progression, and then by the time he gets off of that one, he's getting hit, almost a fumble to turnover. But that's the hardest part about a backup coming in late in the game.
Asa Newsome out tonight with injuries, so that got Salas bumped up the depth chart a little bit. You've seen some action here late in the game. And after the punt, K-State will take over at their own 37-yard line. And this time it looks like Taquan Roberson's going to get an opportunity.
There you go. Hey, I like it. As coaches, you like this because you get to get some players that may not get a whole lot of time to get some film cut up against a team, regardless of what the scoreboard is. You love to get them out there so they get that experience.
So Jacob Knuth makes his collegiate debut tonight. His first action since he was playing in high school in South Dakota. And now Roberson makes his K-State debut after the last 2 seasons at UConn and the 3 prior to that with Penn State. He's going to hand it off. Joe Jackson.
Running hard.
On here's number 4, Joe Jackson.
And I say for the linemen, too, this is a good part of the game where they know it may be a few more pass plays here and there, but most of it's going to be downhill run plays. So the big guys like to roll off the ball going forward.
Picked up about 5, a second down at 5 with clock running, 5.5 minutes to go in Manhattan. Roberson fires but underthrows the intended receiver, Andre Davis. Next Saturday, a lot more Big 12 football on Big 12 on ESPN Plus. At Albany, West Virginia, to open things up. Then a little later, Sam Houston, UCF. TCU hosts Long Island and Northern Arizona and Arizona. ESPNplus.com/Big 12 if you're not a ESPN Plus subscriber. And by the way, if you're a UTM Skyhawks fan, every Skyhawks game is on ESPN Plus.
And that last throw, Roberson needs to step a little bit more into the ball to get the ball out there completed to his receiver.
Jackson will be about a yard shy of the first down.
This is where you get the young guys in, get reps, like I was mentioning already, with Roberson in there at the quarterback position. Maybe some tight ends that haven't got a whole lot of reps as well, maybe a wide receiver or 2. But I say O-line, though, you want to keep in there because from game to game, obviously once you get later in the season, there's going to be bigger games that come up, and you want the top 5 offensive line to have that endurance to stay and play for 4 quarters.
Up 5 touchdowns. K-State going for it on 4th and 1 from their 46-yard line. And first down run will take it into UTM territory. Tyler Mullins able to eventually bring Joe Jackson down, but not before he moves the sticks.
Simple downhill run inside, balls high and tight. Good cuts, good blocks for Jackson to get up the field, and something you want to see in the 4th quarter where your O-line is still getting run fits and still allowing your running backs to get up the field.
Jackson had a total of 4 carries last year. He technically redshirted. He played in the first game of the season against SEMO and the last game in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Unable to redshirt since he played 4 fewer games. He gets another carry here. Jackson has already surpassed his total number of carries for the season that he had all of last year.
He's tackled by number 10.
That was his 7th carry. He's at 48 rushing yards.
And he's going to pretty much get the rest of the carries. I remember old running backs coach Edgar Bennett in Green Bay. He's like, hey, when you get to this point in the game, we're up big, and you got about 4 minutes on the clock. That's where we're at. Just know your tongue is going to be dragging by the end of the game.
Roberson letting as much of the play clock wind down as he can. They snap it at 6, and Roberson fires to the sideline where he completes the pass to Trey Spivey. Trey makes the grab. That is his 2nd catch. He had a 22-yard catch earlier in the game. Trey, a redshirt freshman, Played in a couple of games last year, also redshirt, had 1 catch. His dad, Junior, played in the big leagues, Major League Baseball, with primarily Arizona.
Oh, nice. Yeah, those baseball dads are a special breed. Their kids can come out and be kind of the wranglers of other sports. They have a certain talent. I don't know what it is.
Lockett and Andre Davis line up late on that right side. The snap off from Roberson. He fires a little offline, intended for Sterling Lockett.
Yeah, this is good stuff for Roberson and any player that comes in off the bench, because, you know, that right there, you look at that footwork on the last couple of throws. He had 1 throw to the sidelines in the last possession where it was short. That one there, right to the right of receiver, so where he could work on, because him coming in the game, he won't be in the game right now in the early part of the game. So he has to know if he's going to come off the bench, he's got to be ready to go and fire and be accurate all at the same time.
O'Shea Baker back to receive this punt. So they are going to punt on 4th and 6.
Charge timeout. Kansas State. Be first of the half. Be a 30-second
K-State
timeout.
uses their first timeout. So as we wind down week 1, Big 12 play, here's what's ahead next weekend. Kansas State is going to go to New Orleans to try to avenge a loss to Tulane that they suffered on this field 2 years ago. At Arkansas, Oklahoma State. That's a good SEC Big 12 battle. Baylor and Utah get conference play rolling. Kansas, Illinois, Northern Arizona, and Arizona in Tucson.
Yeah, Illinois Kansas game is going to be a good one. Illinois had a good win this week. There's that Beamer ball going.
Clannon gets a high end over end short punt. He's going to have drop inside the 20 and take a great bounce.
Good job, coverage, guys.
Inside the 5, they down it at the 2.
You had the triangle. You had 36 right there, player on the goal line to make sure the ball doesn't go into the end zone. The other guys kind of huddled around him, let the ball bounce. Good job by the PAT.
3-yard
punt team right there. Excuse me. This is what you coach. This is what you teach. Somebody get down there, get behind the punter like you see. Don't let the ball go in the end zone. So good job there by Fabris. Punter gets, I say, the average adds to his total, and special team guys are happy.
Clannon's had a nice night. Of course, he's the new punter, taking over for Jack Bloomer.
Special teams has a good day today for K-State.
Yeah, definitely so. Big play early in the game with a block punt and touchdown on the recovery.
And defense is not letting up, still not giving an inch. And now this is where you get part of football where, especially on the defensive side, where you know, if UT Martin had not scored, it'd be a 0 on the board. That defense was going for that A. But since they already got field goals on the board, they're looking at making sure that offense gets no more yardage to say, hey, this is the defense we are. We're going to play through all 4 quarters and every second, no matter who's on the field.
2 minutes to go. Timeout on the field. Winding it down. Week 1 in Manhattan. 2 minutes to go. 41-6 K-State. That's what's ahead for Chris Kleiman's team. They are in New Orleans against Tulane next Saturday. That's an 11 a.m. Central Time start. Since we're all friends here, I can let you know it's either going to be on ESPN or ESPN2. You can mark that down.
Right. Yeah, and also another detail, a lot of these teams they haven't faced, just like UT Martin today.
Here's the pitch. Patrick Smith out to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, UT Martin's first meeting here, Arizona, BYU, Colorado, Arizona State, and Cincinnati to wrap out the schedule. First meetings against K-State this season.
And that Arizona game is significant for 2 reasons. One is that it's not a conference game because it had been scheduled before Arizona made the move to the Big 12.
So it retrogrades?
So yeah, it is not a conference game.
Interesting.
And it's the only non-Saturday game of the season, of the regular season for K-State. It's on a Friday night. So here's a pass completion out to Eris Trice.
And then another reason why this K-State team is, or say defensive squad, is playing the way they are, you still get graded, right?
Yes.
The film doesn't stop just because all the starters are sitting down on the bench right now, and we got, you know, a comfortable lead. No, it's going to be film being watched between tomorrow and Monday, and the players will sit down eventually with the coaches and have their sheets that they have their score on and what they got graded out for this game. And so it goes all the way till that clock is done ticking.
Kraus makes the tackle. Trey Kraus in the game. Also saw Wesley Fair in there at one of the safety spots. Some time here late with a minute to go. Sharon looks to throw, and he hits his man at the 15-yard line, but the tackle immediately made.
That's complete to number 10, Devontae Murphy. On the tackle, number 40, Gavin Myers.
That was Gavin Myers, by the way, linebacker in the game, made that last tackle for Kansas State.
6 yards to go.
Third down and 7.
Third down.
Sharon's going to keep it. He's under pressure. He's going to advance ahead, diving for the first down. Where they spot him, it'll be right near the marker.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Maybe after his dive, he kind of bounced forward, but in college, once you hit the ground, you're down. So they give it to him. They did give him the first down there.
They don't have any timeouts, so once the chains start to move, the clock restarts, and that's going to be the end of the game.
Yep.
And 18th ranked Kansas State.
Oh, yeah.
Game they led 17-3 at the half.
Of the ball game.
They go on to win 41-6 to take the season over.
Yeah, as advertised. You know, offense came out a little sluggish, but the defense from the start to the finish was there. And I think that was the catalyst to get the offense going, because with all the defensive stops and then not let UT Martin pick up any type of yardage to get the ball in the end zone, just 2 field goals for their team as an overall score. This overall team fast, and then also special teams got into the fray, blocking the punt. Field goals was on point. Punt return as well, catching the ball, getting yardage, and then making sure the team gets in deep territory late on the last punt here. So all facets of the game for Coach Kilman, very happy. So just going to be always stacking the blocks. This is one game for the rest of the season and one game for the quarterback as well. So good job for K-State's offense and defense and special teams.
So Avery Johnson in his first start at home, 14 of 21 through the air, 153 yards, 2 TDs, did throw his first career pick. You always got to keep in mind his legs. He had 3 rushes, 37 yards. From our count, of those 3 runs, there was 1 design run. The other 2 were just
that was it.
improvising.
Yep.
And we did get to see all 3 quarterbacks, Roberson and Knuth, getting in late in the game. But what was your impression of Avery tonight?
I thought was a good day, an okay day, and just a day that's going to get stacked on him getting better. I saw the throws that I watched in the previous film to get ready for this game. They're there, and it just looked like he was thinking maybe too much in the first start of the game, and then finally loosened up as the game went on. But he is still the quarterback that I've started watching to get ready for his game. He's still that kid. He's going to be dynamic. He's going to be dangerous to other teams once he really knows how to put everything together, the run, the pass, and deciding when to throw and when not to throw and to take off running with his legs. So that's going to be the beautiful thing with Avery Johnson.
See the quarterbacks shake hands there as Avery Johnson and Kansas State wins it 41-6. They had a 3-and-out on their first possession of the game, but score on 6 of the 10 possessions and 5 of their last 6, so they did finish very strong. Ahmad, a lot of fun tonight, man, in the booth. And K-State looked very good.
Thank you.
Good night for them.
A lot of fun as well.
And don't forget K-State in New Orleans next weekend taking on Tulane. That's going to take care of things for now from here in Manhattan. For Ahmad Green, our outstanding crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. 18th ranked Kansas State wins it over UT Martin 41-6. Good night from Manhattan.